So that was our first big triumph as a kind of group. But none of us actually had ever done anything like a self-build site.
You all kind of had to go through the same thing together, like living in a caravan and not having the house finished for years and stuff like that. I think it kind of galvanised us all into a feeling of comradeship and caring about each other.
I had quite a strong push that actually anything we did on this site should try and lift the concept around sustainable construction.
Up until that point, I wasn't a particularly strong ecological warrior. I first got involved with the ecological thing by mixing with people like Barb and Jackson on site, who did have very strong ecological point of view.
We really wanted to not only create affordable routes to people having a home, we also set up training around energy efficiency and low impact design.
That is our sole heat source in the house, that fire.
You can build a house for less than 100,000. It's something that could be done with the people who are going to live there in mind. I do remember while it was being built, Mike's quite particular about details and things like that, whereas I just want to get in there and you know, start cooking the dinner and get on with it, and he'd take a long time making sure everything was dead right. Now when I go to do something like switch something on, and I think, oh, it was really, really good the way he set that in there and put it there and not there, because he thought about it.
And we work well together. Barb, we tend to joke about it. Barb does the bent lines, I do the straight lines. So
I've been here 7 years next month, and when my husband died, my son said to me, come and live near one of us, Mum. So I chose Bristol, basically because I could afford to come here, because I had the opportunity to do this self-finish in this amazing building that was originally an office block, an old office block from the 60s, and that was the remaining derelict building on the yard. We made 6 flats, with the ground floor having a community room and 3 separate work units.
We've got the community hub, the Wild Goose Space, which is a space that people use for events, weddings, parties.
we wanted to build a community, and I think if you get that right, if you put people first, my feeling is that the other things will naturally come along. When we were doing the foundations and various other things, all we had to do is say, oh, we've got tons of cement coming tomorrow, can you come in, help us pour it? And so a dozen people would just come over and help.
I think the original aim of everyone that built was to have the security of owning a home and possibly raising a family.
So we moved here 8 years ago now. We kind of knew this area, and I remember seeing this very house being built because it was kind of the first one to go up, and I remember sort of seeing it and thinking, wow, wouldn't it be amazing to live there someday? It was the house, it was the area, it was the only house that we visited and looked at, and then as we were leaving, our daughter was in floods of tears because she wanted to stay and play on the green and play with all the toys out there. I think it's a pretty idyllic childhood for them.
A wonderful couple have come into the yard who are my age. So they moved to be in amongst all the young people. It's just a lovely atmosphere of, I don't know, togetherness and future. Whereas when you do get older and you are just with older people, you know, you tend to think, well, don't keep talking about the past. You know, there's a lot of future still. Maybe not for the individual, but there is for everybody.
Now, the problem with the change in this area is this was a very, very cheap area, but it's become an incredibly desirable area now, and to go along with that, the house prices have gone up massively.
The cost of houses, and I don't think this is just here, this is just everywhere, you know, is now so high that some people who you would want to be able to live in this sort of community, it's out of their reach.
It just makes, you know, the rich richer and the poor poorer, and it means that young people don't get the opportunity to buy, and you just think, oh, that's the way we do it, we rent. So we just give a landlord money all the time when we could be, you know, buying a little bit of our own.
We've got to get you know, the sort of Tory idea that it's all about money and stuff out of the equation, and shift the balance to creating such a nice place that you want to stay there. You don't want to sell up and move on and make more money somewhere else.
I personally think community housing is a way that we need to shift as quickly as possible, because it empowers, and we get homes that people want, and we get soulful communities rather than sort of inert kind of boxes that people live in.
All of us, you know, we're all of that mind that it's the way forward. Let's not worry about not getting on with our neighbours or our European friends or that. Let's worry about the planet and the whole of humanity. And we all do think like that, so it's rather nice to be in a like-minded place.
Sometimes stopping and thinking, wow, you know, we built this home is an amazing thing, and I think that is what's driven the work that we now do around trying to enable more projects, and the work that we've done through Commotive.
I mean, lots of people don't realise it's here, and kind of, it's a little sort of village in the city sometimes, feels like.
It's like there's so much going on really in this little bowl. It just all adds to the fullness. So we feel so blessed, really. Can't say that enough, how blessed we feel to be here.